So again, I broke our OneNote the other day on accident. So I had made a team and a new notebook for my first hour AP Calculus class, but then I realized that it's just all the same students. It's just one section of it that are all the same students from first semester. So why am I making a new notebook? So I went and I deleted the team so that nobody could accidentally sign up for the wrong or open the new notebook and start leaving stuff in there when I'm using the old notebook. And I deleted that one and it was fine, but it didn't disappear right away. So I did it again. But there's just a lag, and apparently it took the delete on the second hour notebook, which is why if you try to go in and use your OneNote right now for second hour, you get a bunch of weird errors and stuff doesn't seem like it's syncing, and it's not because it's dead. I broke it, and I can't recover it. So we just have to do it again. So what I need you guys to do is to open up Microsoft Teams. You should find now at the very end of your list of tiles a second hour pre-calculus tile. We're going to go ahead and click that. Once you're in the second hour pre-calculus, you pick class notebook. Takes a moment for it to load in. I think your guys says viewing here instead of editing, but you do the drop down and you pick open in desktop, and that'll open up a now new functioning OneNote for you guys. So go ahead and do that here for a minute. If you get stuck or you're not sure what to do, holler at me, and then I'm going to show you how to move anything you might need from the broken notebook to this now functioning notebook and close out the broken notebook. Joey.
Do I have to upload my old homework in this one? Like the ones I submitted last week?
I'll show you how to move stuff when once everybody's got the new notebook open and going. We'll show you how to move anything that you might need.
I'm at that screen. Where do I go now? My computer is bad.
So editing or viewing and then open in desktop. Right? So on the side, it's class notebook.
Yep. Joey, how many people I'll find out.
I don't know.
I'm just anybody who's, because I'll probably have to do it the whole time. I'm assuming you're the lowest rate in the size. So anyone in between the guys, that's a quick
Oh, and then you have that's Get that, and then the square root of x squared y
second hour pre-calculus.
That gets you the big 2.
Is it a pink one?
Yeah.
I'm in the red.
It's like this thing, right? You always can over 7 or like whatever. So
I don't know. Cameron George. Yeah. Oh no, no, sure. No, that's all. Wait, what do I do now?
Not yet. I'll show you what to do.
So should I put
You guys watch that show?
Should I delete the old one though?
Yeah, so let's talk about this for a second now. All right, so once you've got the new one in here, if you go to your second hour notebook, and you try to click on, is your name still there or anything? Still the old one, yes. You go to the old one. And I click on your name, it looks like I can still view stuff there. Can you still view your homeworks that you've added in?
Yeah.
I can.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can.
So you probably can't see the content library anymore, the collaboration spaces, but I think you can still see the stuff you loaded in.
I can see like some of it, but sometimes it's showing up as a big like light saying you can't sync it right now.
Okay. So if you have things that are there, you can move them to the new notebook. Okay. The easiest way to do that is I'm going to do this one with Aiden. So Aiden, don't do this with me. Okay. Yeah. So over here, I'm going to press like the shift button and click all the things so they're all highlighted. If I hold down the shift button, if there's multiple things, I can like click and it'll highlight all of them. Everybody's okay? And I'm going to right click on it. So everything that's highlighted gray. And I'm going to press move or copy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those things to the new notebook. I'm going to find like my name, and where it says homework is where I'm going to choose to move it to. And whoop, it's gone in this one. And if I open up the new one and I looked at Aiden's, where are you? There you are. And I look in homework, there it is, moved. Okay, so if you have stuff in the old notebook that you still want, that hasn't been checked yet, if it's been checked, it doesn't matter. You don't need to have it still there. But if you had if you had started other homeworks that like haven't been checked yet and you want to get those moved over, that's how you would do it. Once you've moved everything that you want, if you go to the drop down and you right click on that old notebook, you can just hit close the notebook and it's gone, it's closed, it's out of your way. You can forget about it. Does anyone need help doing any of those two things? Do you need help moving anything or closing the old notebook, the broken notebook? Okay, very good. All right. If you decide later on that you do want help doing that, that's fine. Look, when I tried to close it, it tried to give me some silly error, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Just do it anyway. Put that over there now. So our plan today is going to be to do our homework quiz. But before I do that, I'm going to take questions from you guys. Does anybody have questions from homeworks or whatnots? to deal with before we dive into that? Yeah, Lucy.
I was just wondering if you could go over like the direction, like finding the direction of the pathway.
Sure, we can absolutely do that. Once we're done with the questions. Yep. All right, so Lucy asked about how we find direction for a vector. So I'm just going to use one of these problems here as an example from the homework. So let's say number 8. So the first thing I'm going to do is graph my vector. So I'm going to find the point -2, 8, something like that. And then starts always at the origin when we're in component form, right? So the direction then I'm looking for is this angle. My angle alpha is always between the x-axis and that terminal side. So in this case, I've gone alpha past 180. So I'm going to do 180 plus alpha. And we always find that alpha the same way. Tan inverse, absolute value, y coordinate over x coordinate. And then it's just calculator time. Luce, does that feel good?
Yeah.
Okay. So the step that you want to make sure that you don't skip is the drawing the picture, because I need that to know whether I should be adding or subtracting, and I'm using 180 or 360, and got to have that picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just like when we solved for, or we did the inverse trig functions in first semester, the same idea. But it's easier because I already, from the component form, I know the quadrant that I'm in. So it's just, Tomasino. 23? Yes, but it's beyond the scope of what we're going to ask to be done on the homework quiz. Do you still want to see it right now?
No.
Okay, I'm happy to do it. I just want to be clear in communicating that that's a problem you would not be responsible for at any point.
Is that 8.2?
Technically, it's an 8.2 problem, yes.
Oh, okay.
But that's not something I would not ask you to prove a theorem on any quiz or test. It's fine homework problem. I think it's helpful, but I want to be clear before I spend a bunch of time doing something and everybody freak out a little bit because it's like, well, that was kind of confusing and hard. That's not something I'd ever ask you to do on a quiz or test. I mean, I'm happy to do it. Remind me again. We'll absolutely do it. I don't know if now is the best time to do it. I think that's wise also. Others, any other thing else you guys want to talk about? Do you remember how to go from magnitude and direction to component form?
I think we should go up now.
Something like this. So to do this, all I need to do is magnitude times cosine of the direction, magnitude times sine of the direction. And then it's just calculator time. So again, the only thing to remember is that cosine goes with the x, sine goes with the y, but that should be easy to remember because it's the same as the unit circle, right? On the unit circle, cosine is x and sine is y. So same idea here. So just the magnitude times cosine of the direction, magnitude times sine of the direction. No big deal. Super quick. I'm in the wrong mode. Oh no, I am in the right mode. Oh yeah, okay, sure. So that would be my answer. Negative 315 comma negative 246. Easy enough? Okay. Do you remember how to go from a given the head and tail to component form? All right. So let's start, let's say vector AB. How do I tell whether A or B is the head or the tail? What letter's underneath the tail of the picture? What letter's underneath the head of the picture? That's it. That's all I need. So A is the tail and B is the head. So I'm going to have the x coordinate is going to be the x head minus the x tail. And then I'll have the y head minus the y tail. Done. Okay, so it's just head minus tail. Subtract the x's, subtract the y's. That's it. Everybody's okay? Okay, so the theme here is the actual computations that you're going to be doing. Really easy, right? You just have to remember what to do. The how of it is really easy. The what to do of it is the hard part. Joey.
Do I solve that?
This is the answer. It's okay. So yeah, you would do the subtraction. Just head minus tail. Head minus tail.
Simple as that.
What do you guys think? How do I find the magnitude of a vector?
Isn't it the square root?
Yeah. So Logan says we use the square root. It's the square root of the x's squared plus the y's squared. Right? That's it.
Wait, Mr. Floyd, if it's like a square root, do we want to estimate that to the decimal? Or could we just leave it as a square root?
You could do, depending on what the direction said, if it doesn't specify, either would be fine.
Alright.
Deal?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys think? Does this help bring this back a little bit?
Oh yeah, no, that really helps.
Okay. What do you guys think? Good to go? Let's do it before it all like leaks out my ear or something. If there's any on my desk, you are welcome to borrow it. Some people have already been grabbing calculators. Sure. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Alright. Roman will, per usual, Roman will be joining.
Okay. Oh
I
my
don't have
goodness.
a calculator.
There's one there.
Can
It
I
works
use
the
that one?
exact same way as the other ones. Sure. Yeah. Guys, you gotta bring our calculators. Cool. Three in this row. Sorry about that. I need to go drop my copies like that. participants. Forgot about that. Okay. No booch. Return successful.